It is the early hours of April 8, 1941, and along the dune-backed coastline near Dunkirk, a German sentry paces the same stretch of sand he paced the night before, his rifle slung, his breath visible in the cold sea air. Behind him, concrete gun emplacements are taking shape, the first skeletal joints of what will become the Atlantic Wall, a defense intended to make the whole of occupied Europe's coastline impossible to approach. He hears nothing. He sees nothing. But a few miles inland, in a fallow field still wet with the night's frost, something has just fallen out of the sky. It drifts down slowly, swinging gently beneath a small parachute scarcely the size of a bedsheet. It makes no sound, gives off no light, and triggers no alarm. When it lands softly in the mud, between two rows of winter cabbages, it looks for all the world like rubbish. A battered cardboard tube, a few feet of cord, and a small wicker container no larger than a shoebox. A Belgian farmhand, up early to check his traps, finds it before the German patrol does. Inside, padded in straw, is a single gray and white pigeon, blinking calmly in the half-light with a small canister no bigger than a thumb strapped to one leg. Tucked beside it is a printed questionnaire in French, asking, with disarming politeness, for details of troop movements, gun positions, and the patrols that walk this very beach each night. This is not a bomb, it is not a radio, nor a piece of code-breaking machinery. It is, in the most literal sense, a bird. And yet for 4 years, tens of thousands of these unremarkable gray pigeons, dropped at night onto farms and fields across occupied Europe, would form one of British intelligence's strangest and most effective tools, turning the empty skies above the coast into a postal route for spies who were never trained, never recruited, and in most cases never even met by the people running the operation. This is the story of how Britain turned an ordinary pigeon into a coastal spy. By the spring of 1941, Britain's view of occupied Europe had gone almost entirely dark. The fall of France the previous summer had not just cost Allied territory, it had gutted the intelligence networks that pre-war planners had relied upon. Agents who had operated under diplomatic cover were expelled or interned. Couriers who had once crossed borders freely now faced checkpoints, identity papers, and a Gestapo apparatus growing more thorough by the month. The Secret Intelligence Service, MI6, had a presence in occupied territory that could, by some assessments, be counted on one hand in certain regions. The problem was most acute precisely where Britain